dependencies. You should edit yourself. You're more than welcome to pause the video and just write it exactly like this into your dependencies. So that's what I have copied and pasted. Once you have copied and pasted the line, or once you have written it down like that, all you have to do is just come over to the right upper side of the Android Studio and say sync now. I'm gonna do it with you now. So say sync now from here, and it will just add this dependency as well. It will try to fix the problem. So most of the time problem will be fixed at this point, okay? But again, there might be some other bugs as well. So make sure this is written exactly like this: Android X test X this colon JUnit 1111, and close the quotation mark with only single quotation this time rather than double quotation marks. Okay, and I'm writing this inside of my dependencies, curly braces, and then I said sync now. So let's see if it solved the problem. I'm gonna right click over here and say run, and here you go. I'm still getting the error. It's good for me because I get to show you what you can further do in order to solve this problem, but most of the time your problem will be solved at this point. So if you're still getting this error, all you gotta do is just close this down, close the Android Studio down, okay, and open your folder, your Android Studio folder, like Java learning folder that you have created for this app, okay? And you're gonna have to delete something. So let me show you. You're going to find the Gradle, okay, Gradle folder. And inside of your Gradle folder, there is something called the wrapper. And just delete all the Gradle folder, okay? This will reset the application once you start the application from Android Studio one more time, like this. It will download all the dependencies one more time. So right now it looks like it's ready, but once I do that, once I hit the run from here, it will build it again, and it will try to create that Gradle folder one more time. So it's gonna take some time, but most of the time it will just solve your problem. But again, as you can see, it didn't solve my problem. So I'm gonna try one more time, and as you can see, we get a different error, but we're still getting error. We're still not seeing hello Java. Great, because I will continue showing you what you can do further to solve this problem. So I'm gonna go over to this build.gradle, and as you can see, it says that there are some newer dependencies over here. For example, I see this highlighted dependencies like this, okay, in my dependencies coding block. And as you can see, it's giving me some kind of message saying that you're using 102, but there is 110 available. So most probably you're getting the same message as well. So I'm going to change the versions as it instructs me. So if you're seeing different versions, like if you see 1.5.0 rather than 1.2.0, just do it. I'm trying to do the latest version of these dependencies, and it is the same thing with my JUnit 1111 as well. So if it gives you some kind of upgrade message, just take everything to the latest version. So let me try to run this, and here we go. It says hello Java, and it worked. If it wouldn't work, then what I would do next is to shut down it again, delete the Gradle folder one more time from here, okay, from my Android Studio folder, and then come back over here and run this one more time. Because sometimes it doesn't actually refresh the Gradle when you change the dependencies, but you will have to delete it and just do it one more time. So let me try to print line one more thing, and let's say 5 times 2 right now, and I'm not writing this between any quotation marks, as you can see. And I'm going to say run, and we're gonna see hello Java, and we're gonna see 10. So when you put something between quotation marks, it means that it's a text, it's a string, so it will be recognized as a text. So if you don't put anything between some quotation marks, then it will be kind of code. For example, at this instance, we have a code multiplying 5 by 2. So it's running 5 by 2, and it's printing out the result over here in the logcat. And if it doesn't work out for you anyhow, just create a new project, okay, from here or from the menu as well, but this time go for empty activity rather than no activity. So if it doesn't work for you, I'm gonna call this Java Learn in order to avoid any confusion, and I'm going to open this with activity rather than non-activity, and we can do the same thing over here as well, right? All we have to do is just write everything under onCreate rather than our main function. So why don't we do that? Because when we do that, we have to use emulator, right? In order to just take the emulator out of the picture, you can work with no activity at all. It would be faster. But if it doesn't work out, no matter what you do, then it means that you're gonna have to open this with a main activity so that you can write everything under onCreate like this, okay? And you can run it with an emulator and do the same thing again. So let me write exactly the same thing like hello Java and 5 multiplied by 2 and run it on an emulator. So when we run it, we're gonna see an empty screen or something called hello world, like a text view, a default text view. But at the same time, we can actually follow along with inside of the logcat as well. It would be a little bit slower since we're going to deal with emulators, but it's also manageable. So if you cannot make it work without an activity, then you can just have it with activity like this. There will be some kind of disadvantages as well. For example, I'm going to create some additional Java classes in the left-hand pane, and when I do that, maybe you will have to create new projects rather than new Java files, but it would be fine eventually. You can do whatever I'm trying to do inside of Java files from here, and if you open the logcat section on your bottom side of your Android Studio, you can see all the logs, and if you write something like system.out in the search bar, it's actually a filtering mechanism so that you can filter only these system out print lines so that you can see what's going on over here. For example, let me do some other example like hello and run emulator from scratch. It will compile and it will run and it will show me the logcat eventually, and as you can see, it's not very slow, but it's not as convenient as Java file. Okay, so you know right now you know a lot of ways to run Java code. So we're gonna continue with this file in the next lecture.